Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the first episode of Sports Stuff. I'm your host, Nick, and today we'll be talking about the Jadeveon Clowney trade that just went down this weekend during the roster cuts of the 53-man roster of the NFL. Jadeveon Clowney was traded to the Seattle Seahawks for a third, pass rusher Barkevious Mingo and linebacker Jacob Martin. I think the Seahawks won this trade. They got a top 3 run defender. They traded away basically nothing for a top 3 run defender. He's averaged 9 sacks a season, a good tackler. This dude's really good, and they basically traded away nothing for him. So I think the Seahawks won this trade. The Texans, they were having a headache with him. 34 days ago, he did not sign his franchise tag, and he said, I will not sign the franchise tag until we come to a long-term deal. Texans didn't want a long-term deal, and he said, the last week of the preseason, I'll come back and I'll play on the franchise tag if I don't get a deal then. But then he found out the rumors were true of them trying to trade him somewhere. And he said, no, I'm not being traded. And if I am being traded, I'm choosing where I'm going because I'm a generational talent. That's probably what he said. He's good. I don't think he's a generational talent. He said the 2 teams I want to go to are the Seahawks or the Eagles. And obviously the Seahawks traded for him. I don't think the Eagles were ever going to trade for the dude because they just don't have, 1, the draft capital to do it, and 2, the cap space to do it, because he's going to want a big deal. I mean, sure, the Seahawks only ended up paying $8 million the franchise tag, and if he does leave next season, they get a complimentary pick because he was still on his rookie deal right now. So I guess the Eagles could have traded, but the Seahawks basically traded nothing for him because they used a 3rd-round pick that they traded Frank Clark away with to get Jadeveon Clowney. So the Seahawks really haven't lost anything. They traded away 1 pass rusher, drafted 1, and then traded for another dude. So they traded Frank Clark for LJ Collier, who's going to develop into a good pass rusher, and Jadeveon Clowney, who's a proven pass rusher. So I definitely think the Seahawks won this trade. With Clowney, Seattle now has Ziggy Ansah, Jerron Reed, Poona Ford, and Jadeveon Clowney on the front 4. And their linebackers are Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright, Michael Kendricks. Their corners got Shaquille Griffin, Trey Flowers, because Justin Coleman left. And the safeties got Tedrick Thompson and TJ McDougal. So they definitely have a good defense. I thought they were probably around top 14, top 15. But now they're definitely a top 10 in my mind. Because in their division, they have Todd Gurley with the Rams, David Johnson with the Cardinals. I'm sorry. And then the 15 running backs the 49ers have Tevin Coleman, Matt Breida. I know that McKinley was just put on IR, ending his season, I believe. But they still got a slew of good running backs behind those 3. So I don't know. I definitely think Clowney was a good idea, knowing their division has top 10 running backs. Well, not top 10 running backs, but like 2 top 10, top 5 for sure. Then Matt Breida and Tevin Coleman are really good. They're definitely in the top percentage. The Texans really got nothing for him. The Seahawks were going to cut Barkevious Mingo and Jacob Martin. They weren't going to make the 53-man roster. And they traded away a pick that they didn't even have, quote in air quotes, have, because they traded away Frank Clark. So it wasn't even really their pick. It was the Chiefs' pick. And they traded for Jadeveon Clowney, which I thought they were going to get a 2nd-round pick and maybe a running back, because I did hear the Seahawks and Eagles were talking to them. I don't know if the Eagles were as serious, but the Seahawks were definitely serious. I thought they would do a 2nd-round pick and one of their running backs, maybe J.D. McKissick or C.J. Prosise. I definitely thought one of those 2 were going to go. Or maybe even one of their one of their offensive linemen, because they have a pretty good offensive line this year. Maybe like Dwayne Brown or Jermaine Ifedi, which I definitely think is going to get a contract deal soon. But the Seahawks, regardless of what they traded away and how good or bad it was, the Seahawks are a top 10 defense this year, and their offense is even more powerful. The defense is definitely better than the offense, but the offense I think is better this year, even though Doug Baldwin retired. Well, he was forced into retirement. Even though he's not there anymore, I definitely think the Seahawks have a good offense. DK Metcalf, I think, is the real deal. Sure, he can't run all 19 or 20 routes that wide receivers usually run. He can probably run only 4 or 5. But he's a deep route guy. He can catch the 50-50 ball. Gonna be good. Tyler Lockett is already a proven talent. Got John Ursua, Jamon Moore, Jerron Brown. They have a lot of weird names, but the Seahawks definitely have the talents to go to the playoffs this year, which, it's hard to say in that division who's going to go to the playoffs, but the Seahawks definitely put themselves in a place to maybe even win the division this year. The Texans, however, I just feel like they could have gotten more for him. But I guess since it was 34 days into him not signing the franchise tag, he only averaged 9 sacks a season. They were not going to get a first for him, which I heard was what they were trying to get. A second, I thought was going to be the least he was going to get, that Bill O'Brien. I thought a second and a running back, because Lamar Miller obviously got hurt. But then I heard they traded for Carlos Hyde. They traded away one of their backup offensive tackles. I don't know. I just feel like they could have gotten something else out of the trade, because this definitely was a Seahawks-heavy trade. They definitely won this trade. But, I guess in the long run, we'll see what happens. Deshaun Jackson, not Deshaun, oh my Lord, I just said Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Watson, definitely, this trade really didn't affect him at all. It was the other trade that the Texans went for this year. The Texans' defense is not as good now. They already lost pieces in their secondary that I don't believe they actually fixed. They lost Tyrann Mathieu, lost, what's the dude's name? I believe he went to the Kareem Jackson. Yep, he went to the Broncos. They lost Kareem Jackson. Their other corners are not good. I believe they got Bradley Roby. Their linebacker core, you got good play people like Zach Cunningham. I don't know. I don't believe in their defense as much as I do anymore. I'll say that much. I do not believe in it as much as I used to. The offense definitely got better, but yeah, the Seahawks definitely won this Jadeveon Clowney trade. I don't know. I just feel like the Texans could have gotten more out of them, but the Seahawks, congratulations. You got a generational talent in what, as he would say, you got a top 3 run defender in a division where you have some of the top running backs in the game. So congratulations, you definitely won this trade. If you guys do want to see more of sports stuff, consider hitting the subscribe button. I really do put a lot of work in these videos. I already got a slew of ideas about to pop out this week. I got AFC, NFC power rankings. I'm going to talk about the Laramie Tunsil and Kenny Stills trade. Why I do not like Chase Daniels as a backup quarterback for the Chicago Bears. And just, general expectations I have. Hopefully I can get almost all those out before the Bears and Packers game starts, which I believe is Thursday. So I'm planning on popping all those out today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, just before the season starts. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy this video and consider subscribing. I'll see you next time. Peace.